Tak mi się podobał ten poprzedni materiał o garnizonach w Heroesach 5, że oglądałem w tym momencie kolejne 40 minut. Godric, niemożliwe wyzwanie. No to zobaczymy, czy takie
Firstly,
niemożliwe.
I did not manage to explore the entire map. And secondly, there are two seemingly impossible fights during this mission.
Ej, ja
Godric
teraz oglądając te materiały, to się nie wiem, czemu napisy w YouTube nie działają. To ja teraz się zastanawiam, czy ja chcę po prostu sobie przejść ponownie te kampanie do Heroesów, czy zrobić, czy bez kitu zrobić podobne challenge, nie?
who is constantly chasing you, and the garrison that is blocking the way forward. So it would be pretty interesting to tackle these things in another video, which is going to be my goal for this video. So to give a quick recap of the situation, the first mission of the second campaign, the Betrayal, has two seemingly impossible battles. Godric
Pierwsza misja to jest?
and the garrison.
Okej.
Even though they do not seem hard at first, this
Kampania na modzie z jednostkami z dzikich hord? W sensie co, kampania podstawki, ale elementy z dzikich hord tam? O, to brzmi dobrze. Czyli na przykład możliwość rozwoju jednostek w drugą stronę.
mission does not provide you with any town or mines for reliable income. The dwellings around the map provide relatively low tier units, as well as you are limited to a level 10 hero during this mission. All of this, along with the fact that you are being constantly chased. Before I continue, it will also be useful to mention that it helps a lot if Godric does not get logistics during mission 5 of the first campaign, as main hero skills carry over throughout the campaigns. And as luck would have it, I did not get logistics on Godric. However, I did make him into a quite feisty hero, meaning that he will have pretty decent damage and defense. But yeah, that's about it for the recap, so let's get to tackling this challenge.
Czemu napisy nie
So since the
działają?
mission is quite
Sami
short,
sobie
there is
włączycie?
no real issue with replaying it from the beginning. This time I decided to go with the artifact as my starting bonus, since it gives morale, something that I'll be needing down the
Nie
line.
wiem.
I do have to mention something before I go forward. I played the first part of this challenge with a heavy migraine, which will explain my poor performance during some fights. So yeah, don't judge me. As well as don't play strategy games while having a headache. During the regular playthrough of this mission, I avoided the monks, and I got asked why I did not just take the fight, as I
Kurwa,
would lose a
Jezu.
relatively small amount
Ej,
of
ja nie
units.
wiem, ja oglądam te
A.
materiały i mi się taka chrapka robi na te Heroesy 5.
This is why I avoided them. Though coming back after the artifact that they were guarding would be pretty useful, as it would allow me to move further each turn on the adventure map. So the current goal would be to explore the map fully and figure out a plan as to how I'm going to go on forward. While exploring somewhere where I haven't been yet, I found a magic scroll for the confusion spell. Not really a priority, but good to know. So for now, I just did the same stuff I already did before, during my previous video. I went for the unicorns, got the stables, picked up the familiars, took care of the earth elementals,
Strasznie lubię ten system
Squires.
levelowania z Heroesów 5.
picked up the Cerberus,
Te ulty, nie? One są tak przygięte niektóre, przecież jak masz na diabłach instant gating.
cleared the skeleton archers, that for some reason were as a single stack this time, which made it impossible to face tank the damage. Alright. Okay, so here instead of going towards the portal, I went upwards towards the footman dwelling. After the fight, I leveled up and picked archery, something that will come in handy afterwards as I will be using ranged units. And then I saw some succubus mistresses. Now, as a logical conclusion from other infernal creature encounters, one would think that they will be joining you. Oh,
Oho.
well, okay then. So, instead I cleared some specters,
Kurwa, że on
then
to swoimi
zombies,
psami
after
clearuje.
which I leveled up and got expert logistics. Perfect. So, there is a windmill here. However, it does not give you gold, which is
Ty, ale poczekaj, na tej misji nie masz zamku,
something I
tak?
found out quite a bit later. But instead, it does provide resources that you can trade at the trading post. Afterwards, I went up to one of the locations that was revealed by the Hut of the Magi, in hopes of finding a water wheel for gold income or some other useful thing.
Dzięki, Boryso.
And would you look at that? Nothing. While going back, Godric caught up to me, but I could just use expert logistics to run around him. While getting away from him, I saw that there was a peasant farm that I could use further on. And after visiting a redwood observatory, I basically revealed the rest of the map that was unexplored. This revealed 2 more dwellings, one for hunters and one for archers. Okay, so now that the exploration part is done, it's time to deal with Rudger and Godric. So I hid inside one of the sanctuaries for a turn, after which I saw an opportunity to attack Rudger. And here is where the effects of my migraine will start showing, so again, don't judge me. Right off the bat, my hellhounds got hit by the griffin stack.
To do
Ouch.
rozrobienia, nie?
After which, I just threw down a bunch of gates with my familiars onto their ranged units.
Zajebisty jest ten gating. O, jest
Then their
broken
angel came up to
totalnie.
fight my familiars.
Ty, a jak są jakieś mecze takie PvP w Heroesie 5, to te rasy się wydają w miarę zbalansowane, czy raczej jest tak, że kurwa ciężko jest mówić o balansie? No bo na przykład instant gating jest totalnie OP.
Which was also the goal of their ranged units.
Jest polska scena PvP w Heroesie 5 i totalnie wyjebali ultimate'y. Aha, no właśnie. Bo Scout Banshee też minus 6 do morale dawał chyba, nie? Czy coś takiego?
Thankfully.
Orkowie są OP, bo oni mają to do siebie, że oni tankują damage na rage'a zamiast na HP-ki.
So I just began taking care of their stacks one by one with my Cerberus and summoned familiar stacks.
Krasnoludy mają, że jak wniewalić to zawsze z pechem. No. Ale anioły zajebiście wyglądają w piątce, nie? Skurwa chyba najlepiej wyglądający anioł w serii Heroes. Świetny jest. Tego to pokiereszowało. Ale faktycznie te Heroesy 5 mają taką fizyczność widoczną w tych pojedynkach, a w tej Olden Erze tego w ogóle nie czuć. Sporo tu potracił. Przede wszystkim żadnego takiego power stacka nie ma, nie? Jak jest mój ulubiony zamek, zaraz poza nekro. Czy ogólnie w trójce mój ulubiony zamek to jest Cove. A w piątce? W piątce to chyba czarodziejami najwięcej grałem. Czemu Cove? No bo masz Jeremiasza z syna Albatrosa, stary.
Whatever, I guess. Afterwards, I managed to level up 2 times. I took pathfinding for better movement capabilities around the map, as well as swift gating.
Już ma Swift Gating. A nie,
Okay.
bo Swift Gating to jest przyspieszenie, to nie jest
So
ult,
now
nie?
it's just Godric running around. Perfect. Before I continue on with the gameplay, I would just like to talk about my general strategy and train of thought in this situation. So, judging by what I know from the initial playthrough of this mission, as well as from what I explored now, this is what I have to work with. In terms of additional units, the map contains the following dwellings. A peasant farm.
Ja tak mam, że mega chętnie bym sobie wrócił do grania tej piątki, ale wiem, że ta piątka niestety działa jak gówno. Ono się ścina, ono crashuje, AI przeciwnika trwa wieczność.
Tower, a barracks.
Wszystko ma takie mini statery.
Hunter's cabin, 3 howling kennels, 3 demon towers.
Za 5,5 to działa dobrze. Nie, no to działa lepiej, ale to chyba nie działa nadal dobrze.
And an imp crucible. And these are their locations on the map. Now, that's all fine and dandy, but how am I supposed to afford all of this? If I wish to buy out all of the units in all of the dwellings, as well as upgrade them at the hill fort that is located underground, this is the amount of gold that I will need to make each week. Okay, but I might not even need all of the dwellings, so let's just say these ones above ground. But that is still quite a bit of gold. Not to mention that there is also an artifact merchant underground if I ever decide to give him a visit. Okay then, so what are my
Tryb
options?
ducha. Mi się tryb ducha tak podobał za dzieciaka, to brzmiało mega dobrze. Jak nie miałeś, wiesz, swojej tury i mogłeś coś przeciwnikowi pozmieniać. On świetnie, kurwa, brzmi na papierze.
Visit the windmill each week and sell off its resources afterwards. Yeah, I didn't really want to bother with that. And the other option, peasants. Oh boy, am I going to need a lot of them. But before I go on to farm these peasants, I need to figure out the best way of avoiding Godric. As well as I need to capture the hunter's cabin, which is something that I have not done yet. Now, in terms of avoiding Godric, there are 3 sanctuaries located around the map that allow you to hide in them without fearing being attacked. So, this is something that I will definitely be using. Especially the one located here, as it is the closest to a bunch of important dwellings.
A Godricka
But
armia
okay,
nie
that's
rośnie,
enough
okej.
strategy talk for now. So let's just get back to the gameplay. So I went around in a circle towards the peasant farm and entered the sanctuary. After which I waited for a while to see
Skoro
what
będzie zbierał chłopów tylko dlatego, że każdy chłop generuje 1 golda dziennie i będzie ich zbierać na tyle dużo, żeby w pewnym momencie mieć więcej generowanego golda niż liczba banków stworzeń i koszt ich rekrutacji? Niezły madman.
decide to do. Would he clear the hunters guarding the hunter's cabin or not? But he was just
Ciekawe,
running
czy
back
ludzie robią takie challenge w Heroesie 6 albo 7.
So then
Well.
I just said screw it and went to clear them out myself. Yeah, slightly
chuj.
painful, but doable nonetheless.
Nie, dobra, jest w miarę.
And the tree ends are blocking my way. Absolutely lovely, isn't it? Yeah, I did not really want to do this, especially with a migraine. But thankfully, there is another way of reaching the dwelling, through the other side. So I went for a bit of a detour towards that other side, while avoiding Godric. And wow, he actually captures dwellings? Why are there more of them here? Come on.
Ja pierdolę, ale traci ten power stat.
Oh boy. Well, at least I can get more of them later.
Nie lepiej
Okay,
byłoby
good.
faktycznie
The dwelling
zabić
is
tych
captured.
drzewców.
At least I do not have to buy them out immediately each week, as they will accumulate over time. So
No to jest
I
fajne, że
just
się
made a run.
akumulują w sumie.
After seeing Godric go towards the dwelling, I was quite curious as to what he would do. Maybe he would actually clear out the other way for me? Yeah, go figure. Of course not. So, I sat in the nearby sanctuary until I saw an opportunity to safely leave towards the other sanctuary. And boy oh boy, did Godric have conflicting thoughts as to what he wanted to do. Since I was about to wait for reinforcements,
Yes.
I thought that I might as well just go underground first and flag the rest of the infernal dwellings. As well as I also had a hunch that it would be possible to do some shenanigans and go past Godric while he's chasing you. So then I went towards the portal, where I cleared the footmen. You
Jednostów
have to be
teraz
kidding.
mniej. Expert gating.
Next up were the Minotaurs, after which I visited the Keymaster's tent. Went through the portal and headed underground. For the sake of saving movement points, I skipped unnecessary fights and went straight for the dwellings. Okay, more reinforcements. Cerberus and hell... What do you mean? They literally joined me last time! So while I was dealing with emotional damage from this betrayal, I decided to go for the dwellings first. And afterwards, I went to take my revenge on the filthy traders. After which, I reached the level cap for this mission. Oh, and it looks like Godric cleared the unicorns. Nice. That's one fight I do not have to take. Oh no, he's about to get me. Haha, what do you say about that move, huh?
Co gadasz, że on jest szybszy.
Bro was stunned by my moves that he even went forward a bit. Anyhow, since I was leaving, and they were along the way towards the exit, I took out the zombies. I grabbed an ammo cart, as I will be using ranged units further on. Even though I might not need as many shots, but still. Okay, good. So now I just have to wait. For quite a while. So then I just hovered around this area here, and visited the following dwellings when possible. Currently, there was no distinct pattern that I saw with Godric's behavior that I could abuse, so I just ran around a bunch and hid inside the sanctuary when necessary. He was usually just running around,
Ile on
ignoring all of my
potrzebuje tych
captured
chłopów,
dwellings,
żeby
apart
mu
from the single
starczyło na
open
pełen
dwelling,
wykup?
for some reason. At one moment, he actually cleared the hunters guarding the hunter's dwelling from my side.
How kind of him.
So, after waiting for a little while, I just went for the last horned demon dwelling, near the start of the map.
To jest ciekawe w sobie, jak jego armia nie rośnie na żadnym etapie. W tej misji można bez żadnego problemu to przyczekać i zrobić jeden ogromny power stack, unikając po prostu walki z nim. Tylko, że kwestia jest taka, że...
Right. I did not have enough room for additional units. Well, I guess I have to say farewell to the single pit lord. Thank you for your service.
A Pitlord nie rzuca jakiegoś
hello
czaru z
there.
jakimś kersem.
Well, I guess I have no choice but to go upwards, through the griffins. So I did. Then I cleared the conscripts along the way and went back to my sanctuary. After a short while, I decided to go and grab the hunters from their dwelling, where I also said farewell to the succubus stack. And since now I had more units, I cleared the tree ants to free up another path, one that
90
is much
strzelców.
closer to my sanctuary.
To już maśniutko,
And while I
nie?
was on the move, I just decided to go after a bunch of other fights that were left around the map. I went after the Inquisitors here. They targeted my familiars, but I did not mind that as they would not be a significant stack during the main fights. Then I went underground.
Ciekawe, jakie artefakty mu
This is
trafią.
why I hate these things with a passion.
O kurwa.
I took a peek at what's being sold at the artifact merchant, and yeah, I'm not affording any of that anytime soon. Afterwards, I took out the spectral dragons and grabbed the ring of speed.
Bo to jest plus jeden do
it also
movementu na
looks like Godric
jednostkach,
cleared
czy?
out the fire elementals. Nice. Bada bing, bada boom, and I'm out of there. I cleared the
Kurwa, ile ty
vampires,
ma movementu?
and then the druids. And then I got lazy and just went back to my sanctuary.
20% inicjatywy.
Whatever that was, I absolutely missed that something was even there. Oh well. Hey yo, that's quite a distance actually. Did he by any chance get logistics after the fire elemental fights? Whatever the case may be, I have to live with it now. So then I got into a little bit of a back and forth with him, until I finally broke the cycle.
Kurwa, zabawne w sumie.
And then he cleared the griffins and took the confusion spell scroll. Okay, I hope that doesn't come biting me back afterwards. So I waited quite a while, but then I saw Godric heading underground, meaning that he has something down there that caught his interest. And that interest was these wights that were guarding the hill fort. I initially cleared them when I was checking the prices for
Ty, on
upgrading
będzie
each
mógł
unit,
ulepszyć te
however,
jednostki.
because of this, he would only stay
koniec.
above ground, relatively close to me, meaning that I had lost my advantage of keeping him away. Alongside this, there were always stables near him, meaning that avoiding him became even more tedious after he gained the bonus. So then I eventually loaded to a save that still had the wights, and I developed a pretty efficient strategy for keeping Godric at bay, while also picking up units from the nearby dwellings. I kept at this for basically the rest of the time until the main fights.
Fajny power staczek. Jako inicjatywę ma
So,
dużą
about the
też.
strategy. It basically goes in the following loop. At the start of each week, I pick up the hunters. Then I go for the archers. Afterwards, follow the footman dwelling. Then the peasant farm. And after that, I waited for Godric to show up above ground next to the
Może 50
underground entrance.
000 nadwyżki.
When he does that, I go inside of my sanctuary. This whole strategy works in a 2-week loop, as 1 week Godric will be further away underground, while the other he will be closer to the underground entrance. But this only affects how long I have to wait at the peasant farm, nothing more. I ended up not going for the stables, as there's absolutely no difference in my case with how the loop turns out. While on the topic of strategy, I would also like to discuss another topic, morale. As you may or may not know, morale allows your units to potentially get another move faster than usual,
Ale jak miesz
as well as the
armię, to
opposite
jest
effect.
gorzej. No
This
właśnie.
is determined by the morale attribute. I'm not really going to go too in-depth on all of this during this video, however, I will mention some relevant parts. So, to simplify everything, morale should be either 0, or in other words neutral, or higher for the previously mentioned bonus. Anything below 0 has a chance of a negative effect. Now, in my case, while having only Inferno units, I can get +2 morale.
Tak, w Heroesie 5 morale działają tak, że następna tura będzie szybsza albo wolniejsza, zamiast dawać następną turę od razu. To jest ciekawe w sumie, że w Hocie nie wpadli na to, żeby to w taki sposób zbalansować, bo to by... No to jest świetne rozwiązanie w sumie na morale w Heroesach.
On my Cerberus, where +1 comes from the fact that Agriel is the same race as the units, and the other +1 comes from having more than one unit stack of the same race. And you can see the differences from my examples on screen. Though it isn't all sunshine and rainbows with the availability of units during this mission, in general, Heroes 5 units divide into 2 different alignments. Good.
Czy myślisz, że rozdzielą w Hocie jakieś inicjatywy i speed? Nie wiem, czy to byłoby w silniku możliwe, dosłownie dodać kolejną wartość do jednostek, nie? To mogło być bardzo ciężkie. No i to też byś musiał przebalansować całą grę. Ale no to też jest taki element, który pozwala ci, dodaje ci dodatkowy wektor do możliwości balansowania gierki. To też jest bardzo ważne, no bo jak jednostka jest wolna i w movemencie, i w inicjatywie, no to jest zupełnie inna sytuacja niż jak jednostka jest szybka w inicjatywie, a po prostu wolna w poruszaniu się po mapie, nie?
Will be affected in a
Wiesz, mógłbyś zrobić jednostkę, której długo zajmuje dojście gdzieś, no ale przynajmniej jest pierwsza, no nie? W dokonaniu jakiejś kluczowej decyzji, to jest istotne.
negative way. So while having a single unit
Poczekaj, o czym
divide
to
into 2
mówi?
different alignments, good and evil. And if you would mix units from different alignments, morale will be affected in a negative way. So while having a single stack of a unit with an opposite alignment, I have -2 morale on them, because Agriel is a hero whose alignment does not, well, align with the units. Though by having more than one stack of the same race, the unit's morale also increases as seen here. However, the effect does not work if there is another race of units in your army, even if they are the same alignment. Now, by combining my evil and good alignment units, each stack loses a point of morale, and then an additional point of morale will be lost if another opposite alignment race is added. Thus, my lowest morale on a stack of units is -4. This means that I will need at least +4 morale on Agriel for them to be neutral, and this is where the starting artifact comes in use. While it only gives +1 morale, which is not enough to cover the rest, there are other methods of boosting morale for your hero through adventure map objects. And there are 5 different available objects around the map of this mission that improve your stats for the next battle. These objects are 3 Idols of Fortune, 2 Fountains of Fortune, 3 Tattered Flags, 1 Lake of the Scarlet Swan, and 2 Fountains of Youth.
Kurwa,
If the visiting
dużo!
time is optimized, we are looking at +4 morale. Nice. Now, not all of these objects give morale, but luck is also something that is always welcome. So yeah, that's about all I wanted to mention about morale, so let's continue on with the gameplay. So anyhow, everything was going smooth sailing until...
Oho.
Excuse me, what? After taking a look underground, it looks like he just teleported to the beginning.
Pa, Godric się tepa na pewnym etapie.
I checked what time it was, and it was the 3rd day of week 1 of month 13. Now, I'm
13
guessing this is
miesięcy
tied to
gra
the
na tej
scripting
mapie
of
już.
him appearing on the map, as he also appears on the third day, but instead on week 1 of month 1.
Ale zabawne.
So, I'm guessing
Ciekawe co jakby stanąć na jego heksie wtedy.
that this will happen in a
przesuwa.
loop after about
Czy wrzuca się
12
do
months
walki
pass,
instant.
meaning that this will happen during month 25, 37, 49, and etc. At least this is my guess, since I currently did not feel like waiting another 12 months to see. But I was curious about one thing. What if I kill Godric and then wait for the time for him to teleport? This, on the other hand, was something that I was too curious not to try out. So I loaded to a previous save that was not too long before Godric teleporting back. I went to grab the stat bonuses on the way that I could and went underground to get some extra reinforcements. I was in a situation where I needed to make a decision as to what exactly am I
Fajne
going
jest
to
kurwa
get in
takie
terms of
testowanie
units for the
logiki w
fight.
grze.
There were a lot of units to purchase,
Kurwa,
a lot
jaki
more than I could
polstaki.
afford, as well as I needed to go and upgrade the ones that I have, plus the ones that I would buy. So I decided to buy the Hellhounds in one of the dwellings and headed towards the hill fort. Oh, right. I still have to take a fight before upgrading my units, which will remove the current morale and luck
yes.
bonuses afterwards. Damn. So instead, I bought out all of the Hellhounds from the 3
Kubas.
dwellings and headed slightly towards Godric in order to perform another juke. And oh wow,
Godric
he's
ucieka.
actually running away. Now that's interesting. So then I decided I will also get as many horned demons as possible and continue to chase Godric. I caught up to him and prepared for the
Posianie.
fight. Since the Cerberus stack was relatively small, I decided to get rid of it in order to split up my hunters. Right away, I have to say that I did not play this fight all too good, since I just wanted to see what would happen if I defeated him and waited until the moment he would teleport to the
Czy pojawi
beginning.
się czy nie?
So I decided to keep the peasants out of the fight because even I can't predict what I'm going to do afterwards. Plus, they were my main source of gold income. So it looks like he gained
To jest
about
fajne,
50
że można
additional
było
footmen
chować
from the
jednostki,
dwelling.
nie? W taktyce
Not a
w
big
Heroesie
deal.
5.
Right off the bat, my Hellhounds could reach the Cavaliers and Griffins, so I had a
Kurwa,
hard
dobrze
time
to
picking a
wygląda
single target.
nawet.
The Cavaliers are tanky, fast, and high damage, so it's better to deal with them faster. And on the other hand, there are the Griffins that can fly onto my ranged units, so I have to waste turns not shooting and moving them out of the way. So I ended up going for the Griffins.
Dawaj, full. Nice.
And after one dilemma comes another. Who do I shoot? At this moment I was concerned about 3 stacks. Cavaliers, the Angels, and the Inquisitors. While it would take a moment for the Angels and Cavaliers to reach me, the Inquisitors would shoot and deal a bunch of damage to my ranged units. Anyhow, I decided to shoot at the Cavaliers with my Hunters, after all, and deal with the Marksman stack with my Archers. Just so that
Nie
there
mógł
is one
AOS
less thing
strzelić
bothering
tymi
me.
archerami? Oni nie mieli takiej salwy? Kurwa, tam by nie strzelił w 4 jednostki naraz?
Then the Cavaliers fell after a
Dobrze tam kurwa
retaliation,
ustawieni
but
byli.
yeah, that's quite a bit of damage. Yeah, just as I said.
O chuj, jaki damage.
He took the Confusion spell scroll. I hope that that doesn't come biting me back. Damn.
Nie, to właśnie podstawowe
That's a
jednostki
lot.
takie o... No 1/3 damage, ale w 4 jednostki, nie? Rozłożone.
I buffed my largest hunter stack with Righteous Might. And threw down a gate with my horned demons. Now, I know that I could have used my gating with the Hellhounds here, but I did not want to waste an opportunity to do something useful. So instead I went for the Inquisitors, where I also got a lucky attack. As well as I got another lucky attack with my retaliation on the footmen. Okay, so far so good. I just need to deal with the angels. Oh boy, I'm gonna need a lot more than this. Okay, never mind.
Kurwa,
Very
to
good.
jest bardzo
Well,
dobra
damn,
fizyczność
they deal
ciosów.
no damage. I hope that that doesn't come biting me back. So I just took out the rest of the marksman stack with them. I finally used gating with my hellhounds, after which I had to attack with them. Otherwise the angels would just take out a good chunk of them right after. So I went for the angels and got lucky again. Hell yeah!
260 psów
Thank you for
bije,
your
kurwa.
service.
Oje.
Your sacrifice
Psach.
was not in vain.
Łaska.
Okay,
A nie.
at least it's not another confusion
Ace.
cast. Then I put Righteous Might on my other hunter stack.
Kurwa, mam taką ochotę na... Nie, muszę pograć w te Heroesy, nie pojebie.
Since my Horned Demons had appeared, blocking the Inquisitors, I continued targeting the Angels.
Zabić to zabiję.
The conscripts got too close for comfort, so I targeted them here.
Nice.
Oh boy, they deal absolutely no range damage while the spell is active, and it was not running out anytime soon. I hope that doesn't come biting me back.
Dzięki Juriko za 32 miesiąc. Kurwa, ale boli ten zwój, nie?
I went to finish off the conscripts here, but I did not really consider that the angels would reach me from the other side. Well, okay then. And I also
Wow.
should have targeted the Inquisitors here, which would
Jak
block shooting.
staty ma ten Godric,
Okay.
że nie taki
Well,
damage
my
walą?
bad. I ran away with my hunters and began ganking up on the angel stack.
Mógł łuczników zablokować, nie? A tu masz takiego Godricka, jakiego sam zrobiłeś. Pytanie, mógł zrobić najgorszego Godricka, dać mu stary jakieś, wiesz, odkrywanie.
Wait, no! Why is this bug happening now? Ah. Okay, never mind. I fixed it. Damn, what a good hit.
Nice.
And then Godric casted Word of Light. Okay. I went to defend my hunters with my hellhounds.
Czy to jest jakiś mod? Nie, to jest próba pokonania przeciwnika, który ma być zrobiony w taki
Okay.
sposób, żeby
The
był
rest of the fight was
dosłownie
just
niemożliwy do pokonania. Szukając jakichś ciekawych rozwiązań. Pipi.
Okay, there we go. Godric is down. And it looks like, along with the confusion spell, Godric also had the Ring of Vitality. But other than that, nothing more. And after waiting for the time when the teleport would trigger,
Pojawi się czy nie?
nothing happened. I suppose that the fact that the blue player was defeated would be enough to get the same answer, but I tested it out anyway. So instead, I loaded to a previous save, sometime before I collected the Hellhounds from their dwellings, and that is also exactly what I did afterwards.
Jak będziemy tak teraz tych Hellhoundów?
Then I cleared the whites, guarding the hill fort. I decided to do this now because I was already nearing a good point with my army. Judging by the fact that I managed to defeat Godric already, even before I got the chance to upgrade any of my units. When I headed back to the surface, it actually looked like Godric was coming after me. But didn't he just run away from me a moment ago? Weird.
Nie może się biedny Godric zastanowić nad tym, co
While
robić.
heading upwards, I also grabbed any stat boosts along the way, to not worry about this later, when I'm going after the hill fort for unit upgrades. I also wanted to see if Godric would actually attack me, or was that just a coincidence of our paths crossing. And okay, he actually went past me. But let's try that out another time. And okay.
Tym lakiem tu jest w stanie
Why is
dużo
my
ugrać,
luck
nie?
attribute red? And why did +2 move it only up to +5 if I had +4 before visiting the Fountain of Fortune? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember luck being capped in Tribes of the East. But then again, I might be wrong. So after doing a bit more back and forth action with Godric, I had the following army, and all funded by the 1,000 peasants. I did some quick math and then proceeded to wait until I had around 80,000 gold, which should roughly be enough to upgrade everything I need. While I was waiting, I also picked up a few units along the way, because why not? And at one point, when I was nearing my gold goal, I said that enough is enough,
Kurwa,
so
pomyślcie,
I
że
just went straight for the hill
teraz w
fort.
sumie czysto teoretycznie elementem, który pozwala na zrobienie takiego wyzwania jest fakt tego, stary, że chłopi generują 1 golda, nie?
But before doing this, I decided to take a peek at what's being sold at the artifact merchant. As if I would even buy anything. Hey, that would have been useful quite a while ago.
Kurwa.
Oh well. So, after
250
upgrading everyone,
golda
I
dziennie.
decided to get rid of the Horned Demons in order to free up some space for split stacks of ranged units.
Demony
And this is
usuwasz,
what I
żeby
was
podzielić
left with.
łuczników.
Perfection.
Nice.
With that being said, I was finally ready to take on Godric. Since I was able to defeat him earlier, there's no doubt that I will be able to do it this time as well. Though I will try to do this better than before. And would you look at that,
łucznikami
I'm able to
ulepszonymi
reach
to...
and hit both the Griffins and the Cavaliers.
O!
However, this time I decided to use the gating ability.
Kurwa,
After which the
gate'ingiem?
Griffins just came right to me and hit my Hellhounds. Alright.
Kurwa, jaki hit duży,
I
90
focused my 100
hellhoundów.
shots on the Inquisitors and moved my Cerberus out of the way so that neither the Angel nor the Cavalier sack would be able to reach them.
Bardzo dobrze. A podstawowe anioły nie mają resa, nie? Co mają podstawowe anioły w Heroes 5?
Then I moved my conscripts and squires so that they would block the big stacks from reaching my ranged units.
Tak, blokuje fajnie. Dlatego te kwadraty w piątce są mega ciekawe, bo tu w zupełnie
Oh
innej formie
boy.
ustawiasz te
That
jednostki niż
damage is just
w
wonderful.
trójce.
Godric casted Forgetfulness, however, it was on one of the marksman stacks. As well as the situation in this battle is already looking way better, so it's nothing to worry about.
Stracił trochę tych hellhoundów.
Having max luck is also really beneficial, like, look at this Cerberus stack hitting the Angels. Absolutely insane. Anyhow, there isn't really much to say about this battle anymore, as there's only cleanup left, so I will just let it play out until the end.
Dawaj po tych chłopach strzelaj. Aha, 33 damage jak dostał kersem, nice. No. Co Godric rzuci? To bije po jednostkę z Civil Alignmentem, nie? Ten
And
czar.
there we go.
Tak, bo tylko dostały psy.
Godric is down. Again. But this time for real. Okay, great. Now all that was left was the garrison. If compared to the Godric fight, the garrison should be even easier, as there is no strong hero buffing all of the units, meaning that they will both deal less damage as well as take more damage from my attacks. So I grabbed all of the extra stats from the stat boosting adventure map objects and headed towards the garrison. Oh, and look at that. They're even warning me not to attack it. Let's see how well guarded it actually is.
Ile będzie tych aniołów z 100 chociaż?
I already set my Cerberus to be somewhat in the middle of the battlefield in order to reach the enemy stacks. I was also not concerned about losing a bunch of them, as there's really nothing else to do after this fight. And I also don't think that there is much that I can add here, so I will just let the battle play out.
Easy. Nice. Zabić tego małego staka, żeby Retaliate'a nie ściągnął z psów w sumie, nie? A kurwa, jakie to jest znaczenie w sumie. Dobry jest, co nie? Wyglądam jak chłop 2 tygodnie, 2 lata dosłownie zbierał armię in-game.
So there we go.
Żeby powiedzieć, a mógł to inaczej zrobić.
Both main fights are done.
Zajebisty challenge'ik.
Though I'm curious, what's behind the garrison? Let's see. And it looks like there is nothing interesting to see apart from Maraziel. I was curious if he would attack me from here, and it looks like he doesn't. Even if I'm right behind him.
A może z nim zawalczyć?
But does defeating him cause any issues? Even before that one cutscene appears.
Ej, on przestał... że mam przedmioty, to może Cerberami dobiec do samego końca? Czy o co chodzi? One chyba nie miały tak dużego movementu,
Alright, that is going to do it for this video. Just like the garrison fight from the previous, seemingly impossible fight video, it was pretty interesting tackling this challenge, and finally overcoming it. While editing the video, I realized that I didn't really mention the time when I attacked Godric and the garrison. So, before attacking Godric, it was day 1 of week 4 of month 15. And before attacking the garrison, it was day 1 of week 2 of month 16. But this also includes the time that it took to get to these fights, during which I did not really pick up any more new units, so that's that. For anyone who is wondering, this took me around 6 hours of game time based on the length of my recordings, which also include me sitting AFK for about an hour in total, so I would say that it was more like 5. There's also another topic of discussion that I would like to bring up. This channel is not a full-time project of mine, at least not at this moment in time. Thus, I can't really afford to work on the videos as much as I would want to. And with that being said, I cannot really promise a specific new video schedule, especially if the video length may vary from video to video. And as you may or may not know, but editing a video that is longer than 30 minutes takes some time. And...
O kurwa, 40... Co?
You may not know, but editing a video that is longer than 30 minutes
Jezu, myślałem, że to było 40 godzin nagrania.
takes some time. And I always prioritize quality over quantity. So there may be varying delays between these videos. And I really hope you understand. Though I might try some other things out in regards to the format of the videos. For example, dividing certain map playthroughs into multiple videos, so that each one would be, let's say, up to 10 minutes in length. But then again, there are videos like this one, which is not really divisible in any reasonable way, so it's just not as simple. So yeah, again, I hope you understand. And as always, any feedback is welcome. But yeah, that's about it. So I would just like to say thank you.
To w 5 minut minęło, nie? Ja takie materiały zazwyczaj oglądam na sen. I to jest taka sytuacja, że ja to pochłaniam. Jakbyście mnie ktoś zapytał, ile trwało, to bym powiedział z 5 minut max, nie? Fajnie.
You have made it this far.
Ma ten ziomo coś więcej na kanale? Ja go muszę sobie zasubować, stary, pokaż. Co on ma? Endless Assault. O, jest tu kilka, ale kurwa chyba te najlepsze, sądząc po wyświetleniach, obejrzeliśmy. Dobra, czekam na kolejne challenge. Totalnie czekam na kolejne challenge.